Zip-a-Dee-Doo, da, zip-a-dee-yay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day.
Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zip-a-dee-doo, da, zip-a-dee-yay. Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual. Everything is satisfactual.
Zip-a-dee-doo, da, zip-a-dee-yay.
Wonderful feeling, wonderful day.
Zip-a-dee-doo, da. Oh, zip-a-dee-doo, da.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome in. I am Zip-a-Dee-Doo Doug, and you are watching Hump Day Hangout. And we got some people here. We got Jennifer Caruso, Kathy Hollister. Hello. We got Francisco. What's going on, buddy? Hello, Verna. How are you tonight, dear? And we do have our guest. We have Amy AJC Magic TV waiting. So let's get her in here.
Hello, everyone.
Hey!
Hello, Doug.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Yeah, how's mom? Everything good?
Oh, yes. Yeah, yes.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good. And we did not have trivia tonight.
No.
So I'm sure people are heartbroken about that. But hey, if any time during the stream you want to throw out some trivia questions, go for it.
Yeah, we keep it interesting.
And there's Stacy from Living the Magic.
Hello, Stacy.
And Stace. People don't know, Stacy's fundraiser is still up until I believe Friday. I think she's going to take it down. So if I did have a banner with the link for the fundraiser, you know, if you guys still want to donate to that. I know her goal was $3,000, and I believe last night she got up to $3,206. So it was pretty awesome. Last night, you know, everybody came through on that. It is such a great cause.
Yes, it is.
Amy knows what a great cause it is. So, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sounds wonderful. I'm getting pretty good at this.
Oh, yeah.
I even have a intro video, an exit video, and I have a funny video that if Steamboat Stevie ever shows up, I got a video to welcome him in.
Hey, that's good. I'm not that tech. That's the problem with me there.
Yeah, I like fiddling.
Yeah.
So welcome in, Amy. Thank you. It's great to see and talk to you again.
Thank you.
We had such a blast up at Jennifer's son's restaurant. It was great meeting you there for the first time, and it's hard to believe that. I mean, you only live 45 minutes away from me. We never met.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the funny thing is I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go all the way to either Florida or Baltimore or somewhere to meet Jennifer and even you in Florida or something when we only live that far, not too far away.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun at the restaurant there.
Yeah. Oh, was that restaurant not fantastic?
And in fact, I was like, one of these days I'm going to go back out and try the wings because they look really good. So,
Well, when you go, give me a call and we'll go.
oh yes, I will.
Because that was just, it was so good. We
Hmm.
had, before Amy got there, of course Ron was hungry. 'Cause Ron's always hungry. So welcome in, Cherie. Hi, Cherie. Hi, Aunt Julie.
Hello, Julie, Cherie.
Um, Before you got there, we're sitting there, and Ron's like, well, maybe we should order some appetizers. Next thing I know, there's a whole spread table of appetizers. There's provolone sticks. There's, what else do we have? We had the poutine. We had stuffed peppers. I mean, it was
Yeah.
just everything there was phenomenal. But
Hmm.
it was really good. It was great to sit there and talk to you guys, to both of you, because it was like, I mean, I know we're all YouTube community, but and Jeff will vouch for this too, that um, but um, it's a special connection from Western Pennsylvania.
Yes.
We all know, even though we didn't know each other before, you know, we know the area. We know we like the same things. We like the Pirates, Penguins, Steelers. It's kind of like, um, yeah, it's like Western PA. I mean, anybody you meet from anywhere, we're family. It doesn't matter where you go. I go to Myrtle Beach. I see people from Western PA. They treat you like family.
Yes.
So I'm sure you find that when you travel. And
Oh yeah, you always seem to find different people from Pittsburgh or Steeler bars or fans and stuff. So they travel well.
yes, and Steve actually found a Steeler bar near him down in St. Cloud, Florida.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, so he goes there quite a bit. But and I know what I wanted to tell you is I was looking at flights, and you can get on a flight tonight to Anaheim, California for like $900.
Oh well, it's tempting though.
Yeah, and that's not. I figure you could just bunk with Garrett and Michelle. I don't think
Oh
they
yeah,
mind.
yeah. Let's go sleep in the corner there. Hey Garrett, one night.
Yeah, he was messaging me yesterday and today. Um, I don't, I know Hannah. Hannah's been having some health issues. Their daughter. Um,
Yeah.
Always keep her in your prayers. She's been a trooper, from what he told me. They do leave after the morning session, go back rest,
Hmm.
and then him and Gabe will sometimes go back early, and Michelle will stay with Hannah. And so just everybody keep Hannah in your prayers. Hi,
Yes.
Debbie.
Hello,
Good to see
Debbie
you.
Burnbill.
And Jennifer Caruso. Jennifer Caruso is going to be
Jennifer.
going live Friday and Saturday. She just messaged me tonight. And I asked her, I said, well, she's going to be in Epcot. I said, is Ron going to be there? And she said, yes. And I said, well, then, okay, I'll watch it. So Jennifer knows that I would watch anything she puts out.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and she is as nice in person as she is on the streams.
Yes,
I
I
mean,
would agree.
and so are you, Amy. I mean, you are fantastic. You're such a caring, uh, good person. I know why Jeff and Zach and Angela, I mean, they just speak so well of you. I mean, they brag about you all the time.
I think it.
Yep.
Yeah, it was interesting how we met, and I mean, it was like we known each other forever.
Yeah. How did you meet Jeff and Angela? Did you meet them when they lived here?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Well, I was up in Erie, and I had seen Dis Our Dreams in my chats when I would be at various places when I went live. And when I was up in Erie, of course, Jeff was from Erie, Pennsylvania,
Hmm.
and he would comment about different things like, "Hey, that's where I lived across the lake and stuff, or the Bay Area, because they have both sides, the Bay and then, of course, the lake itself." But he would be commenting and stuff, and the one time I was talking about Sarah's chocolates and how they have like a fundraiser. It sometimes it's various places like the MS Society. I think one time it was Good Kids the World, but ice cream for breakfast
Right.
type of thing. And I was talking about that, and and he realized like, hey, I said to Angela, I think that person lives pretty close to us, and he had kind of commented one time like, yeah, I think we live close to each other and stuff, without giving away where we actually lived. And then Angela private messaged me and was asking, and we met like a day later because we were both going down to Disney for Galaxy's Edge opening, but also the Beverly Challenge that the Dis and That crew was doing.
Okay.
And but I had already had the trip booked for myself to go anyway because of Galaxy's Edge, but Disney Dan was in town in Orlando, and I wanted to meet him and a bunch of other people. And then it just happened that Galaxy's Edge was opening, and then This and That crew was doing the Beverly Challenge. So, and
Okay.
we
Yeah, I
started,
missed that. I know.
yeah,
I came in after that.
yeah.
So who won that challenge?
Steve of Steve's World.
Did he really?
Yeah, Donna came in third. She was the only woman, but she came in third place. And John of Touring the Galaxy was second.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
can tell you, I've tried Beverly. I would rather eat dirt
then drink
than
that.
drink that again. It was just, oh, it was so bad.
Yeah,
But I mean, I had to try it because I wanted to hear, every you have a mix.
yeah,
Some people like it,
everybody.
some people don't.
Yeah, I know
I
when I.
like.
Oh, go
Go ahead.
ahead. Sorry. I know when I first tasted it, it was like, oh, that's kind of weird or whatever. But then I actually had looked into like drinking tonic water because of cramping and stuff and that quinine that's in there. So I kind of got used to the flavor, but I don't think I could have done a contest drinking all like over 30 glasses of Beverly, maybe like five at the most. Yeah.
Yeah, but the one actually, and Belinda kind of like looked at me. I like the China one that tastes like barbecue.
Yeah.
I actually like that one. She liked the cucumber one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But I thought I the last streamer I saw that was in there, from what I saw, they had like almost the only ones that were there were like Beverly
Beverly.
and maybe one other one.
Yeah, they
And
were
the
out
rest,
of it.
yeah. So
Yeah. And they used to, I mean, even before, they put some of those new flavors, they had other flavors that I enjoyed.
yeah,
And then, of course, when everything happened and then they remodeled all of that, because we were probably one of the last groups that was actually in that, Interventions doing a Beverly challenge, or, that whole big event was like one of the last big things before they started knocking it down.
right. Yeah. Well, first off, hello, Evan. Welcome in. Chris, the Curtis family. Hello. Who else? Somebody else came in, I think. Evan.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think I'm caught
Yeah, I
up.
think that might be it.
So, yeah, I mean, and I've told people this before that the last time I was at Disney World was 1992. And then I mean, my mom being a single mom, and my brother was in college, my sister was graduating and going to be getting married, and I was still in high school. We just couldn't afford it from then on
Yeah.
out because she was a single mom. So I mean, I remember what were they? The Comicore? What, what were they called?
Yeah.
Behind Spaceship Earth, where
Um,
they would
yeah, they were
show all the new
the
gadgets and
Communicores. Yeah, Communicore
concourse.
East and Communicore
Communicore, yes.
West. So they had a
I mean,
west and east side.
you could spend all day in there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, with all the new gadgets, and I
Yeah, I've
think
been going to
that's where
Epcot
Disney
since
went.
it opened.
Go ahead, you there?
Oh no, I was just saying. Yeah, I hope I'm still there.
Yeah, you're here.
I,
But
am I still there?
yeah,
Okay,
the
sorry.
thing that Disney dropped the ball on, and I hope this new um, Moana feature and things that took a lot of people and congregated them into those two buildings. And
Mhm.
that's the ride times weren't that bad, you know, you know, but it seems like when they eliminate something, that's when, and it's always something that draws a lot of people,
Yeah,
and going back to Splash Mountain. Splash Mountain was a very popular ride, especially in the summer. And
yeah,
for them to do what they just did, they shut it down before Tron fully opened. And now you're starting to see some wait times come down because Tron's, starting to get
take
more
the
people.
crowd. And,
But what was your last trip like? Because I know you were there not too long ago.
yeah, I ended up getting a Tron preview, and I was still kind of debating because it was either do Disney World with the Tron preview or try to go out and see Garrett and their friends. And I mean, I really enjoyed Disneyland when I was out there, and really would like to get back, and especially that Garrett was there. But I decided I'm going to go down with see friends and do the Tron preview, and um, it was a quick trip because it was
Yeah, it was
pretty.
secret too.
Yeah,
Nobody knew you were going.
yeah. I because of family situation with my father and his
Okay.
health and stuff, I kind of kept it quiet because I didn't want to be saying, "Oh, I'm going to Disney World," and then I keep saying that, and then I cancel these trips, and then people are like, "Oh, you always say you go, and then you don't go." And I was actually trying to surprise Jeff and Angela, but by the time I got to the hotel from the airport, because I was trying to get there before they would end their stream, and I
Right.
ended up. Um, so when I got to the hotel and before I did, I texted Ange and said, "Hey, how long are you guys going to be at the Magic Kingdom?" Because I know, with all the different friends Abby has and all their new neighbor friends
Right.
and everything, that maybe there was something planned and everything. So, but she said, "No, we're going to be here for a little bit." So I said, "I'm actually in town. I'll be over as soon as possible." So whatever. So as soon as I got the room, I threw everything in and went and hopped on a bus.
Well, that's what I was watching because you did the trivia,
Yes.
and then I'm watching Jeff and Ange Thursday night, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, did I just see Amy? I was like, I'm looking. I'm like, it is Amy. So what'd she do? Just like levitate there? Or?
But it was a quick trip. But I also knew um, that Kenzie Days and our friend Matt were going to be down there too. So that's one of the other reasons why I was going there, because I knew it was going to be her 21st birthday, do the around the world and stuff, and I wanted to see them, even though it, they're only a couple hours drive north, but the weather. When you get up on I-90, you don't want to be stuck in a snowstorm or something. But so I did that and met them like Monday and Tuesday, and of course I had to leave on Tuesday. I now sit there and look at it like I should have just stayed till Wednesday, just to
Yeah,
get that full day with them at Epcot, and then they switched
right.
over to another park.
Well, I'm going to tell you, you did a great job streaming there. I mean,
Yeah, thank you.
you hit a lot of the things that people love to see. Um, and I tell you, you're just so casual. You're not running to places. You're like me. You're just there. You
Yeah,
want
I
to
did too.
enjoy it. And some of the streamers will run from thing to thing
Yeah.
and not take time to talk to the people who are in the chat. Like just right now, there's Ron Caruso. Ron, what's for dinner tonight, buddy?
Hello, John.
But you know, and the successful streamers are really the ones who you know kind of embrace the chat, embrace the people who are watching. Um, I know that's what I like to see, and that's what makes Jeff so great because Jeff really, you know, gets into the chat and as much as he can see. And you've streamed, I've streamed, everybody's streamed. We all know when you're streaming, your phone is only so big.
Yeah,
So you're only going to see maybe two or three messages at a time.
messages. Yeah,
And some people get upset because you missed their comment and I always say at the beginning of my streams, if I miss you, and I know other people do this too, you included, if I miss you, just keep, putting it back in and I'll see it, I mean, Jeff's stream as of late, I mean, his chat is just flying.
flying. Yeah, they'll have to start putting that slow mo on there.
Yeah, yeah. But, well, that's great. I mean, you had a great time, obviously. You got to ride Tron and you got
Yes,
to ride Guardians of the Galaxy. Which one do you prefer?
I enjoy the Guardians of the Galaxy a little more than the Tron. I like the special effects that Tron offers and everything. I wish I could have wrote it again. That was the only other thing to really get it. But I really like the Guardians of the Galaxy, and I kind of got it down pat to where I don't, you know, get myself sick.
Yeah,
If I'm
I haven't tried it yet. When we were down there in December, I was having a lot of neck issues,
mhm.
um, to where I mean I couldn't even rotate, my head, and
Yeah,
but I'm hoping to maybe try it, in June when I'm down there.
yeah.
Um,
And I know,
crab
like
legs.
the first time I had ridden that, I did take a non-drowsy Dramamine type of thing just to make sure because my sister actually rode it and she's the one that gets like sick and stuff like that. And she kind of said, "Well, this is what I did and everything," and
Okay.
and I just wanted to make sure because I know sometimes those spinny rides, sometimes I'll get off of that like, why did I just do that?
Right, right, right. Well, from what Jeff said, as long as you watch the, and Steve told me this too,
Yeah,
if
you
you
watch
just
the track.
watch yeah, look straight ahead, don't
Hmm.
look sideways,
Yeah,
then you're good. I mean,
yeah,
so yeah, I think I'm gonna give it a try when I'm down there in June.
yeah,
Now, Tron, um, obviously, I mean, I'm not gonna be able to get on the cycle part.
yeah.
My knees just don't configure
Yeah, it
that
was
way.
kind of hard for me to get over there because I'm not that tall of a person, and that seat is kind of high, so you're like trying to climb over. But luckily, it was just a preview, and they took their time and to really get that on there. It
How is
was
the bar that comes behind your knee? Did
um,
you ever did you have a
it
problem with that?
not really at first, like when I tried the tester, but then when I got into there, I kind of adjusted a little bit. And I was lucky enough where I was on a side where they didn't have that many people. And I ended up in the back seat anyway because when they pulled it up, she just said, "Here, go right here," and they folded down the other side and then got adjusted there. But it does bother my, it does pinch into there if you're,
Yeah.
when it's bending.
Yeah, that's why I'm probably going to just ride the regular seat
Yeah.
part. So, welcome in, John. How are you tonight?
Hello, John.
So you did Tron, you did Guardians. We saw you do some things. You were at Hollywood Studios one
Yes.
for a stream. Now, what's your favorite thing in Hollywood Studios? Because I know, if I can say this, can I say this?
Sure.
Okay. Amy used to work in Hollywood Studios a long time ago. Well, not a long time ago, but early 90s, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you could tell the story on where you worked. And
Sure. I started out working at Hollywood and Vine. When it was back then, it wasn't the character thing, but it was a cafeteria style where you picked an entree. You went through the line, but you picked an entree, and they served ribs, chicken, salads, tortellini, and fish. And I think there might have been a couple other things I was trying to remember. And then you could, you bought everything like your entree, your drink, and then a dessert type of thing. You got a dessert. I think Crystal Palace was set up like that also. Years, I know when I first went to Disney World, that's the way the Crystal Palace was, and then of course they put the characters in, and then that's what they did with Hollywood and Vine. But then I moved over to next door to the Primetime Cafe, where of course you have the fun of don't put your elbows on the table. And
were you a waitress there?
I actually did some busing and in the back cooking and prepping and stuff like that.
But did you still get to yell at people?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
And like if they said they went to the bathroom, in those days they had like a pink powdered soap or a blue powdered soap in the bathrooms. Now it's like the foam stuff or whatever.
Okay.
And you'd be like, well, what color was the soap? Did you wash your hands? And of course the airplane thing, and like when Steve gets a plate of whipped cream and there's a green bean under there or something, all that fun stuff like that.
We went there to eat, and I don't think I told you this. We went there to eat December of 2020, and it was right during the pandemic, right, smack dab in the middle of the pandemic, and there weren't a lot of restaurants open in Disney. And we were at Hollywood Studios, and my brother and sister-in-law wanted to eat at 50's Primetime. So we said, okay, we'll go. Me and Belinda were talking, we're going to have to go back now that everything's back to normal.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like the food that we got was just stuff they picked off of the buffet from.
Oh, okay. Limited,
yeah. I mean, I think, what did we get, the sampler or something where it gave you something of everything? And I mean,
and Steve
it was.
We can share it, but
and that was another thing, And I noticed this watching Steve streams, like the portions that he gets is big.
Yeah.
Of the pot roast and when I ordered sampler and it came out, it was very small. So, and I was like, well, I ain't ever going to come back, blah, blah, blah. And then you sit there and think about it and you say, well, it was during the pandemic. They were short-staffed, so I will give it another try.
Yeah.
So Dakota really didn't care for it, but Dakota doesn't eat a lot. Dakota eats chicken nuggets, hot dogs, and pizza.
Yeah.
So,
and that's the thing. I know the menu, like when I worked there, the lunch menu was different than the dinner menu, but they always had the meatloaf and pot roast. Those were staples. But like at lunchtime, you could get a burger, fries. But the kids menu was limited of PB&J and mac and cheese. And I think they had like another type of sandwich that kids could get.
Okay. Now,
or you could get a burger.
When were you down there? February, right?
Yeah. For this past time? March.
Yeah. Oh, March?
Yeah.
Were you there when Woody's or the rodeo
Now it opened up after I had gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know Jeff really liked it.
Yeah, it looked really good. And I know, like, the first time around, when I know Donna and them said that their food wasn't it it was good, but it wasn't great. And then of course, watching Steve and Corey, and I was like, oh, it's a little disappointed because I'm like, boy, the food looked really good. And you wonder if it was like because it was the tail end of the day, because I know they were
Yeah.
hosting various like people like VIPs during the daytime that they got to go there. So you wonder if they got all the good food.
Right. Right. And I know Steve and Corey went on opening day,
Yeah,
and then Steve went again
with
with
Jeff.
Jeff and Jersey Mike, I believe.
Yeah, and
And
Zach.
Steve said it was completely different.
Yeah,
The food was much better. I mean, it does take a little bit of time um, to perfect the menu, and
yeah,
the only thing
and it.
that bothered me was, I mean, it was like $45 a person
Yeah,
uh, for a non-character buffet. I thought that price point was a little high. I think it could have been 35 or even 39.
hmm
Because, like I said, you're not seeing. Now, maybe they will add some of the Toy Story characters, which I think would be really cool to have them walking around,
yeah.
so maybe they will, But do you ride Slinky Dog?
Yes. In fact, I was gonna say Slinky Dog's one of my favorites. I always have to try to ride that. I really enjoy Rise of the Resistance, but the Tower of Terror is also one of my favorites.
Really? Oh, I can't do Tower of Terror.
I remember the first time it opened because we were there the summer that it opened because I actually got a special ticket that I bought at our local Disney store and for the Tower of Terror. And what in those days you just went up through the ride and then they dropped you and that was it.
Yep.
And then they
Yeah, and
eventually
that's when I
changed
rode
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rode it one time, and that was it for me.
And I would get up early in the morning and run over there, and I probably rode it about 3 or 4 times. And I dragged my sister-in-law one morning. She decided to come with me, and of course, she's screaming crazy, but enjoyed it afterwards. So it was really,
Oh, Stacy
really
thinks it's $59.
$59. Wow, yeah, that's for no characters. But I think the Whispering
Oh,
Canyon
Alverna
cafe,
says 45.
yeah,
Oh, we have a discrepancy. Oh no, what is Sharina says? It'd be worth it if they had characters. Right. Garden Grill's 45. It was definitely worth. Yeah, and you do get characters at Garden Grill. And that's why I said for a non-character buffet, I, I think they're pricing it too high because I think once the newness wears
wears
off of
off.
it,
Yeah,
I don't see many people, especially families, going and paying that.
yeah,
When you got Woody's lunchbox right across the street where you can get a good meal,
mhm,
a lot cheaper for the kids. And
yeah.
so I think they're going to have to add,
Yeah,
some
they were
characters.
kind of quiet about. I thought maybe it was going to be a character thing because of some of the art concepts I'd seen that they might have had a character wandering around or something. But
Right.
so it was kind of hard. But yeah, for that price point, and I mean, it's good that it's all you can eat because Jeff and Steve and them pretty much ate that $59 worth of food that
Well,
night.
I mean, my goodness, me and Steamboat Stevie, we would put a hurting on that place.
Yeah.
We
For
were,
me, it probably wouldn't be worth that much. I mean, I would eat like taste everything and that, but it would be like a one round and done type of thing. I don't eat that. Like I eat it, but not like a ton of it, unless there's something really good.
okay. So Stacy says, according to the app, 35 to 59. So 35 is probably for lunch,
Yeah,
and then the 59 is probably dinner.
yeah.
But like I said, $60 for a buffet without, you need to get characters in there.
Characters, yeah.
Is Mike Cabral here? There's
Yes.
Mikey. I
Hello,
talked to
Mike.
Mikey today.
Ah,
Mikey called me from that country way up north. I asked him if he
hopefully
was
you're
shoveling.
thawing out.
Yeah, I said he's still shoveling snow.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, me, and you. Yeah, we could put it. And a funny story. Me and Steve, we were at Whispering Canyon. And Whispering Canyon, I think, is one of the most underrated restaurants in all of Disney.
Mhm.
It's super fun. There's Jeff from This Our Dream, Jeff and Angela. Hello, guys.
Hello.
But we go, that's in my top 5 restaurants of all of Disney World is Whispering Canyon. One, I mean, you just got a great wait staff that,
Yeah.
I mean, they have so much fun, and then the food is really good. And I got the breakfast uh, sit down buffet that they have, and I'm telling you, it was better than Cape May Cafe. It was better than Ohana, and it was probably half the price.
Yeah.
But we're sitting there eating, and you know how the wait staff, they gag you like the whole time. We walked in and I was real thirsty, and she forgot to bring our drinks, and I says, I'm really thirsty. Can you get my Coke? She comes out with a mason jar, probably about a foot tall,
Yeah.
of Coke. And she goes, you're not allowed to leave until you drink that whole
They
thing.
drink it.
And then, of course, you ask for ketchup,
Yeah.
and they'll bring like 20 ketchup bottles.
They bring all the kids over, like, here.
And then we're sitting there eating, and we were having, it was a night, I don't think it was warm that day. It wasn't that great. But we're sitting there eating and eating and eating. And she comes up the one time and she goes, are you guys done yet? Do you think you got your money's worth?
Yeah, I just
I'm like, no, bring me some more bacon. That might do it then. She brings me a heaping pile of bacon.
yeah, I just saw Mike Cabral's comment where he said that they got kicked out of a all you can eat sushi restaurant after 40 minutes because they were eating a lot of it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mike.
So Chris said he didn't like the Whispering Canyon supper. I didn't have the supper, Chris. I know Steve did. Steve had, I think it was some brisket, some ribs, sausage. I forget what else. Was it mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese? So, I mean, you get different things. The breakfast, it came with eggs, Mickey waffles, sausage, bacon, home-style potatoes, which the home-style potatoes were amazing. I mean,
can sit there and eat those all
yeah,
day.
yeah. The producer, Belinda's here, by the way.
Hello, Brenda. Belinda.
But yeah, so Mike or Chris, when I'm down there in June, we might have to go there for breakfast, buddy.
I just saw Garden Grill was bringing back their breakfast.
Who is?
The Garden Grill, they're bringing back their breakfast.
Are they? That's awesome. And then the sad thing is they're closing Trails End.
Yeah, that's disappointing because I remember we went there a couple times, and a lot of cast members go there because it's like that best kept secret of a good price and affordable, and like you said, and it was really good. The chicken and of course, during the breakfast. I went once for breakfast, but a lot of times we did dinner.
Oh, it is open for breakfast already.
The Garden Grill. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just saw the ad that it was opening, so I wasn't sure if it was open or not.
Mike, I am going to get down there June 12th, and me and Steamboat Steve have a couple little trips planned, but I will be in Central Florida from June 12th to June 29th. So
Ron's comment.
about bacon, yes, but yeah, you can have bacon with anything. In fact, I told him my favorite donut is from the pie shop up in Laughlin Town. Have you ever been there, Amy?
The what place?
The pie shop. If you go past Idlewild and past
Nah,
Ligonier,
nah, I
next,
haven't.
next time you go up to Idlewild that way,
Okay.
go past Ligonier about 2 miles.
Okay.
On the left-hand side, you'll see a little place called the pie shop.
Oh, okay.
Everything there is made completely fresh.
Oh, well, I'll have to check that out.
It is amazing. Yeah, if you go, I'll go with you.
I'll be
But
picking
they
you
have-
up on the side of the road.
I'll walk up to the get-go in Jeanette and just stand there and wave you down.
Hello,
but
Ryan.
they have a donut. It has maple icing on it, and they have crushed bacon on top.
Oh, well.
It is the best thing I've ever tasted. I think I'm going to get a few and take them down to Jeff. Hey, Ryan, how you doing, Ryan? Hi, Dave.
They're not going to be any good.
Oh, yeah, they will.
No, they won't.
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
listen. All you got to do is throw them in the microwave for like 15 seconds, and they're fresh again.
And I put them in plastic, but like you said, put them in, wrap them up real good.
Yep. Mike, I know you love donuts. Tim, Tennessee Bear keeps telling me, does Sarah's have all their Easter?
They might, Jeff. In fact, I meant to look on their website to see if it was on sale. Because the other Monday, I looked and it wasn't down yet. I should have looked at Giant Eagle or one of the other stores that sells it.
Yeah, Giant Eagle had it. Yeah,
to
up
see
here.
if they had any left. Because I know Rite Aids and stuff sell it, and then they'll mark it down pretty quick, and people just grab it.
Yeah, Dave, it is up by Lynn Run. The pie shop. Yep.
Yeah, he said it's great.
Yep. Oh, we haven't been. We might have to make a run up there.
And I think they'll ship it to you too, but you probably have to get like a dry ice pack if you don't have a place for the mail to go.
They'll ship the bars. I know that.
Yeah.
Like the pre-wrapped bars, you can buy like a box of them, Jeff. If you go on their website, you can pick whatever you want, the dark chocolate, the milk chocolate, and they'll ship them to you. I think if you spend over, what is it, $25 or something, that's free shipping, I want to say, but I'm not sure on that. I just hit CVS and Walgreens for 50% off candy. Yeah, but is it Sarah's candy, Verna?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking to see if they.
Belinda, Cherie says hello.
I know, I'm ready for now.
Because
Belinda
usually
was sound
online
asleep.
they'll have the eggs on sale.
Belinda was sound asleep on the couch like 2 minutes before I started the stream.
Don't tell my secrets.
She does get up at 3:30.
I know in the store when I went down before Easter, because I usually like to get my nephews, they like different things, and then my nephews and nieces something, and they actually had a couple of their eggs that were on sale that I picked up because I wanted to try it. Was a raspberry filling, and it's not a raspberry filling, but a raspberry like flavoring. So we'll see what that tastes like. But we usually get the cashew melt away egg, and my nephews like the pretzel bark or the pretzel bar with the crushed pretzels in it.
Right. And I know, and Jennifer did load up on Sarah's candy to bring to you, Jeff. So you do have. Oh wait, Ron says I think. Uh-oh. Who ate it all, Ron? Did Jennifer eat it all, or did you eat it all?
Yeah, that's the thing, shipping it to Florida.
Hi, Diana.
Wouldn't end well unless, I put it in dry ice. And I think they will pack it up like that if you pay extra for it. But you'd have to be right there to get it. Everything. Am I there?
There you are. We
Yeah,
there?
okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. Sometimes our internet goes in and out.
No, that was me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was mine.
But yeah, I did ship some. Well, my church does a fundraiser for it, so I did sent some to a couple people that I know that like peanut butter and and it's easier for me whenever I do it because they ship it for free, and then that way it goes to their house and I don't have to worry about delivering it. And in fact,
Okay.
I I always kind of forget when I do go down, to even just take some bars or candy bars or whatever and give them out to some various people while I'm down there. Like, here, here's a taste of Pittsburgh. But
Okay.
there's a lot of different chocolate places around Pittsburgh that are fairly good.
Oh yeah. There's the one up. The one I really like. What's the one up in Sharon, Pennsylvania? Starts with a D.
Oh yeah. Now I can't think of it. They just went out of
Neither
my
can
mouth.
I. I've gotten chocolate from there.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll come to my mind here.
mhm. But I mean, it's like, what else do we have around here? I mean, it's not like we can go to the beach or anything.
Yeah,
Hi, Jeanette. Welcome in.
When you do
If
have
everybody do me a
Daffins. That's
favor,
it.
hit
Daffins.
the like button and make sure you check out Amy's channel. Most of you, I think, already do. Daffins. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
Daffins.
Yeah, I tell you, my Steamboat Steve used to live up in Sharon, and every
Okay.
time I go up there, I'd go buy some Daffins candy.
Yeah,
So
I've been to Daffins. I've had Rosalind's Candy
I've never
Castle
had.
chocolates because somebody at my work was selling the candy bars. And then I've also had the Boots, Dave, if he's still in there, but it's called Boots and something chocolate. It's
Hmm.
out on Route 51. Gene
Oh,
and
okay.
Boots chocolate.
Oh,
Gene,
okay.
it's towards Uniontown. At least
I'm
that's where I pass a little a store there. I'm the old one here. Come on.
that you are, Jeff. But yeah, Jeff, you weren't here earlier. Me and Amy were talking at the beginning about all of us from Western PA, and it's funny that we all live fairly close and didn't know each other until this community, and it's just like a special bond we have from people from Western PA. Amy, Jeff, Angela, Jen, Ron, me, Dave. Um, I don't know. I mean, that's
Stacy Rogers, but they're the eastern side. But there's a lot of different YouTube or people in the chat that are from Pennsylvania itself.
right. Well,
Yeah,
do we
but they're the
really?
other side.
Yeah, do we really
Nah,
converse with them? Uh, I mean, those people from Philly are
Hey
a
now.
little,
yeah,
they're a little goofy.
yeah.
You be nice.
Right? What I do?
Be nice.
Well, sorry, Stacy. I love you. Stacy, are the kids around? The better side. How many Super Bowls you have over there, Stacy?
Yeah.
But does anybody have any Yins? Yins guys from Western PA are awesome, and at Easter PA, not so much. Jeff, and this is something that I've always found out. Even though you move out of Western PA, you're still considered. This is your home. It's you just tell people where are you originally from. Well, we live here now, but we're from Pittsburgh or Western PA.
Yeah.
That always explains a lot because then they're looking at you like, oh, okay, that's why you don't speak proper English.
Yeah, I don't really have that true Pittsburgh accent though. For me, even though I've lived here all my life, I don't have
You
that.
have a little. You have a
I
little
have
bit.
it, but it isn't as heavy as some people around
No,
Pittsburgh.
no. I do. I can really turn it on thick when I want. And a prime example, when I would go visit my aunt and uncle, and they had this little, um, where was she from? Guatemala girl. She came and cleaned their house. Well, she barely spoke English. And she comes down and I'm talking to her and she's looking at me like,
I don't
just shaking
understand.
her head. She had no idea. So I started teaching her Pittsburghese.
Oh goodness.
So my aunt and uncle come home and she starts saying these words to them. Boy, did I get in trouble.
Uh,
Everyone has a connection to PA and sort like
sort of
Mesopotamia.
like a Mesopotamia modern world.
What did Jeanette say about Johnstown?
We
Oh,
have
you're from
Permati brothers,
Johnstown.
Stacy.
That's why I can understand yins. Okay. We were just up at Johnstown.
I know you have
Last
the
year we went
cheese
up there.
sticks, Stacy, but we have Permati brothers, and that's pretty good.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, actually, Steamboat Stevie, just found a Permani Brothers in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh yes, I was just going to say that they have a location.
He was down there for Easter, staying at a resort, and right across the street from the resort was a Permani Brothers.
Stacy just said that they have remains.
Where do you have Permanis, Stacy? In Philly or down there in Orlando?
Yeah, but Pittsburgh invented the Permani sandwich. I'm kidding. So. Blaisburg. So.
Delco's and Logo. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I did know about that. I didn't know about the Fort Lauderdale one, though. And that's really close to Jen and Ron. Down that part of Chester County. Chester County, Pennsylvania. That is between Harrisburg and Philly, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Jennifer said they go there when they're in Florida, but it's not as good as Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Yeah, you have to go to the original one if you really want the.
I will say the one in Greensburg is pretty good, too.
Yeah.
The one that was in North Versailles was not good at all. And I think they even closed that one.
Ah, okay.
But the one in Greensburg, me and Belinda go to it. It's really good.
Yeah, I live in between two of the restaurants, and every once in a while before work, because I work on the city of Pittsburgh area, I would swing through at 6 a.m. and go to the original Permani's. Now, I don't know if they open early as much anymore, or if they're still 24 hours since everything happened.
Okay.
Right.
Have you ever been to Pepe's?
Yes.
Oh, I love Pepe's. The original Pepe's on the north side. Anytime I would take a group of kids to the Science Center or the Children's Museum or anything, we would all go to Pepe's for lunch. And that's where they had the Pittsburgher, the Roethlisberger. I mean, it was just, I haven't been there in so long. But yeah, I actually like the Roethlisberger better than the Permani sandwich.
Yeah, I had the Roethlisberger.
I mean, they're not really comparable. One's like a hoagie type, and one's just the sandwich with the coleslaw and the fries.
Yeah, I've had the Roethlisberger one before, and they, one time I worked at Heinz Field as a ticket taker for a while, and they would sell the hoagies. You know, send out like these kids and stuff out selling the hoagies to the Steeler crowds, and I would pick up one of them.
Yep, Jeff says you gotta get Yin's Permani sandwiches downtown in the strip. It ain't a sandwich if you got no sweat on it.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or the egg.
Have you ever had Vincent's Pizza? down in
The-
Forest Hills.
Yes. Yeah, the first time we
original
ever
Vinny.
yeah, the first time we ever went there, we made the mistake of ordering a large pizza, not realizing how huge it was. And now when the next time we went back, okay, we'll just get the small or medium and cut it, and then just cut the giant slices because it was huge, and then pepperoni about that thick on top
Oh
of the
yeah,
pizza.
oh yeah. Um, Pepe's is a chain, but I think they're only local to Pittsburgh. They only got like 2 or 3 locations, so
Yeah,
I don't know if it's the same Pepe's out in Philly.
I know there's one on the north side, and I seen one in the strip district.
Jeff, are you having a seizure? But we would go to Vinny's. They had a location in North Huntington that they added years after, but it wasn't the same. So we would go down to Vinny's, and it isn't an authentic Vinny pie unless you have a little bit of cigarette ash in
That's what people have said. He was
it.
smoking.
He'd be standing there smoking a cigarette, just dropping ashes in the face. Yeah, you just take a spoon and scoop it out and throw it away.
And they, I guess his daughter has a place called Shelly Pie. I don't know if you've heard of that, Shelly Pie. I think it's in Turtle Creek.
Is that out on Route 22?
I think so. Or
Okay.
it's in Turtle Creek, one of the places.
Is it still there? What are you waiting for? She's sitting there. That's the one I wanted to try.
I told
Go
you.
try it. Bring it home. Like, does it look like I will turn down food?
Do they know that we actually have a schedule of what we have?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do have a schedule. Well, just 2 days.
Yeah, Eden
Tuesday?
Park's really a good staple too, Jennifer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
The
Jeff was
super
just.
burger.
Yeah. Yep. They
I kind of feel
they've cut back on their buffet though. Their breakfast buffet. They only do it Friday, Saturday, Sunday now.
yeah, and the ones around here, the only one that's open 20, well, it's not even open 24 hours except the weekends, is over by South Hills Village Mall. And the other ones all close like at midnight or whatever since
closed?
COVID.
I think they're closed.
No King's restaurant, Dave.
We have one King's right up here in Greensburg near us that's still open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of the few ones. I think there's only 3 left.
Yeah. I think there's a King's near Cannonsburg, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's actually a half a mile from us. When you go through Jeanette and you come up where the Home Depot and that is, that's where King's is.
Okay. To buy a franchise of Eaton Park. Hey, if you did that almost 24 hours, Jennifer, I'm sure you'd get that Disney crowd looking for food.
I actually know a guy I work with. His wife is the COO.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, of course, she loves me. So I get coupons all the time from her. Hi, Mary. Welcome in.
Have a good night, Verna Marie.
Verna, have a great night, dear. Let's quit our jobs and franchise. I don't know if you can franchise it out of Pennsylvania, though. I think at one point in time, Eaton Park had a contract with LB's Big Boy and Shoney's that they were all like in some way connected in like an agreement that Shoney's could have this area, LB's Big Boy would have this area, Eaton Park would have this area. So I don't know if they can. I've never seen any outside the state. Have you?
No, I haven't really been. The furthest I've seen it was Altoona, PA.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Which is where Sheets is from.
Okay.
Yeah, Sheets' headquarters is in Altoona, PA.
Washington crowd said, I never knew there was a Jeanette feeling until I met Joe.
Yes, there is. And actually, Jeanette,
Yeah.
Jennifer grew up in, her family is originally from Jeanette, Pennsylvania. So,
And they always had good football.
yeah. Mark, what? What is Marco's? Is that pizza? Marco's Pizza?
Yeah, Marco's Pizza.
Okay. Listen, the pizza, have you ever eaten it Tutorial Al Forno on the boardwalk, Amy?
One time.
Okay. I will tell you that is the best pizza on property. And from what I
Now,
understand,
did you get it inside the
yeah,
restaurant or at the pizza window?
you I think they're both the same now. I think they changed the pizza
Okay.
window to the pizza that you get in the restaurant. And let me
Okay.
tell you, it's so much better than even Via Napoli. I really liked it.
Because I've gotten pizza at the pizza window, which is okay. We usually, if I'm with my sister's family, Giordano's is their choice, so that's what I end up getting. And then we
Okay.
do pizza in Napoli at Epcot.
We were at Via Napoli in December, and we got a big pizza for all of us, and then Dakota got one of the small personal because she only eats cheese.
Yeah.
Our pizza was not, I like my pizza crispy.
Okay.
It was very doughy, it was undercooked. Dakota's was cooked to perfection. I mean, I had a slice of Dakota's and it was really it was great. The pizza we got, the big pizza, you know, it was good, but it wasn't what we've had there in the past.
And
Okay.
even Steve said,
Yeah, even
there a
Steve said
lot
that.
more than we do, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was just, maybe they were working in a new chef. Don't know.
Yeah.
There's no good Chinese food down here either.
We
We're
were
so
so
deprived.
deprived.
If I miss one thing about PA, it's the food. Listen, all Chinese food is the same.
No, it's not.
It's
No, it's not.
all right. I won't say what it is. But...
Yep, thank you. Shut your mouth.
Belinda
I
loves
get orange
Chinese food.
chicken or General Tso's. That's my extent of the Chinese or an egg roll.
Belinda loves Chinese food. I am not a fan. It is what it is. I can eat Mexican food every day.
Yeah, I love Mexican food.
Don't they? They don't have any good Chinese restaurants down there. They got to. They have. They have to.
Thai food.
What's the food?
in
What's the
Pitts-
food like in China? In Epcot.
Kind of like your Panda Garden, maybe. I don't know. I've never actually eaten in the China Pavilion. I usually eat in Japan, Italy, Mexico, and then I've done UK.
Have you ever had the egg rolls in Magic Kingdom at that little stand?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do they have? They have cheeseburger. They have
Yes.
pizza. See, we wanted to try that
I like
this
the
time.
pizza ones.
We wanted to try that when we were there in December, and they weren't open.
Oh, okay.
The egg roll stand.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't open the day we were there, or the couple days we were there.
Jennifer said she needs to get her Joshua to expand to Orlando and open a couple more restaurants.
Look at what Chris said. Meow in a dish.
Brett?
Yeah, Julie McAllen, there is a lot of good Thai restaurants here in Pittsburgh, and they have a lot of good Chinese, Thai, noodle places. There's even a couple Russian restaurants. So there's an eclectic of different restaurants. A couple Brazilian steakhouse type of restaurants.
Oh, Jeanette
That
loves the cheeseburger ones.
the cheeseburger ones. Yeah. I like the pizza ones. I've had that, and then I like regular. But
Uh,
they kind of raise the price. Well, I mean, they get smaller and then they cost more. But if the line's really long, I'm like, that's okay. No thanks. So I'll move on.
yeah. Well, that's and that's where it gets you, is, especially in Epcot. You want to try all the different countries and what their cuisine is like.
Yeah.
But and this is where I think a lot of these restaurants really need to go to mobile order, especially the quick serves, because people, you see all these other quick serve places that are doing mobile order, and I mean they're busy because
Yeah.
people can order their food at whatever time they want, show up, and it's ready.
Yeah.
And I think that if, like, the restaurant outside of Mexico, right in front of it, where they have really good
The little
nachos.
Mexican
Yeah.
quick serve. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can't
I mean,
order.
that would be great to mobile order.
Yeah.
Because you could go in Mexico, or I mean, you could order your food, go in, look around, ride the ride, come back out, go there, and it's ready.
Yeah.
But I do see a lot more places going to the mobile ordering, especially at Disney Springs. The only two that I knew of at the time were Deluxe Burger and Chicken Guy, and now there's more places that are doing the mobile ordering. So that's the way things are going today.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a chicken guy downtown Pittsburgh. I haven't really been downtown to go check it out. I think it's in the PPG Plaza area, but
Oh, okay.
I haven't really gone to check it out. I looked it up to see like what their hours were and if they're still there. It's like, but I'll have to check it out one of these days.
Right. Yeah. I have. Oh my goodness. I mean, I used to go downtown all the time when I would take charters down there and take field
Hmm.
trips, and I really don't take field trips anymore for what I'm doing. I'm making more money what I'm doing now, and I mean, I would just go down there every day of the week and eat somewhere different. And I probably haven't been to downtown Pittsburgh since Steve moved, what, year and a half ago. Yeah. So
We drove down that way, but we didn't stop.
no.
I didn't really get down there for Christmas this year, and sometimes I get down that way, but I didn't really get down there this year. Just too much going on. In fact, that
Oh,
whole month like disappeared on me.
Jeff's getting whipped today.
what is that fry place?
What is the fry place?
What was the fry place down by University of Pittsburgh?
Oh,
The
the
O.
original,
Yeah.
yeah, the O.
Yeah,
Did Jeff or anybody tried that? Because I never was there.
The O. I think they closed it.
Yeah,
did?
they closed it. Yeah,
I
they
did.
were good. They were really good in their heyday. The original hot dog shop, but the
Yes.
O got giant plates of fries.
Yeah. And then whenever I take a trip to like Carnegie
Museums.
Science or Carnegie Museum, we would eat in Oakland, and but yes, it was the O. Jeff, be nice to Angela, please.
Hello, Brittany Ann.
Hi, Brittany. There's our
Yeah, that
oldest,
landscape kind
that's
of.
our oldest daughter, Brittany.
Hello, Brittany.
Dakota's probably sleeping. So I know my mom's in here. Hi, Mom. But does anybody have any questions for Amy? I'll open this up.
I do.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
The
What-
producer has one.
What is a fun fact about Amy?
What is a fun fact about Amy?
Well, let's see.
Or something that nobody knows.
Wow. Now she's really getting you. Something that
Well,
That
nobody
nobody knows.
knows.
like private, like that, like something fun.
That's like a Garrett
Well,
question.
not many. Well, not many people know, but I actually had a kidney transplant
Okay.
in 2018,
Oh, wow.
the summer
wow.
of 2018, and I found a living donor, and it actually was someone that I kind of got indirectly connected with, and when I put out my face after I learned how to do it on social media and put out a Facebook um, thing about it and stuff, they were considering. So
Oh,
and
wow.
they actually went through. And well, the weird thing is I was in a Bible study through another friend, and she was the pastor of the church, and then this person was assigned to the church that time, and we were talking one time, and her husband works. Gets like magazines from UPMC and stuff, and it talked about how you could donate, your liver and different stuff. But and she had talked about that, and we talked about myself, but I had sent out my Facebook page to a lot of different pastors because I'm very involved in my church. And I just said, I'm not looking for you guys to donate or anything. Just put it out there on your prayer list or whatever, because you don't know if somebody in your congregation is suffering that same type of thing. Because I would never talk about myself having the kidney failure, being on dialysis. And it got to the point where if I didn't say something soon, the organist in my church would have been up there really like not going crazy, but really like, hey, and stuff like that. And I got really sick while I was on dialysis one time because of fluid overload and stuff. And so that's whenever I decided I got the postcard from UPMC. It said, here, this is how you can go about looking for kidney transplants. And that's when a guy was in Disney World and he was wearing T-shirts around Disney World and found a donor that way
Okay.
and stuff. But it's actually not as easy as you think, because they do ask you, you can call the number and that, but they ask a lot of pre-questions, and you have to pass those pre-questions before they let you go and get tested to see if you're actually um, physical fit. And then once you're doing that, then they look at your blood and stuff and that and see how that goes.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
amazing.
And this person, all the boxes started checking off, and it was like, boy, if she doesn't, I'm back to kind of square one, because I had a bunch of people, call and ask, but they never got past the phone calls and stuff.
Wow. Now everything's
Yeah.
good now, right?
Yes. Yeah, it'll be almost 5 years this summer.
Now, do you still have to go back for checkups or?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I have to take anti-rejection medication and everything. So that's the big thing there.
Okay.
But a lot of people don't know that, and that's one of the things.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, that's just awesome. I can't even, to even find a living donor
Yeah.
is like a needle in a haystack.
Yes.
It's just a miracle. Hello, Julie. Welcome in. Dakota's in here. Steamboat Stevie. Hi, Regina. Welcome in. Anybody else come in? No. Hey, Jeff, I forgot to tell Steve what you said on the stream the other day, that I am so much cooler than Steamboat Stevie. I forgot to tell him about that.
Thank you, Stacy, and everyone.
Yes, everybody. Did you find a noodle in a haystack? I could probably smell out the noodle.
No.
That is ridiculous. But Amy, that's great. I'm glad you shared that. And hey, there's people that go um, through a lot. I mean, we know what Kellen's been through, and
Oh yeah.
and what Pete McDevitt's been through. Are you going to Pete's meetup in August?
I am planning on it. I might have to tweak it a little bit because of some different things going on before and after that. I'm like, oh, how am I going to do this there? And it's also my birthday weekend, so my
Oh,
my birthday is like the day before everything starts. So
when's your
it's like
birthday?
uh, in August, August 3rd.
August 3rd. I'm August
Yeah.
12th.
I was gonna say
Oh,
you're
okay.
on the 12th.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I always tell people God's favorite people were born in August.
Here we go.
I'm pretty much a true Leo there when you read about a Leo.
Yeah. Oh, so am I.
Chris wants to know if Amy says she's joining you guys in June.
Amy, are you going to join us in June?
I will have to check the dates and see what's going on because I have a couple graduations. Our last, well, it's not my grandchild, but my last niece and the last grandchild is graduating high school this year.
Okay.
And she's the valedictorian in her school, 1 to 3. So we'll see. I have to check the dates there. I'd like to
Yes,
try.
I know Cherie's going. Debbie Bernfeld, Cherie, I know are going. August is really busy for me because we're getting ready for the next school year.
Yeah.
It's crazy for me in August.
Regina
I went last year to Pete's and I really had a good time and
Okay.
it was fun. So I really would like to go back and see. And now I'm like, there's something I want to do before the trip, and I'm trying to figure out the logistics. And I may have to leave before Sunday or sometimes Sunday early morning or something because I wanted to be back for something later that Sunday evening. So I'll have to see what I'm gonna do.
Right. Well, hey,
Yeah.
that's and that's what's hard is you got priorities and you got responsibilities,
Yes.
and that's why I go down in June because it's right after the school year. You know, I'd pretty much just be sitting here twiddling my thumbs.
So I think if I was a teacher and had the summers off, I would probably be down in Orlando all summer or part
Yeah.
of the summer.
Next year you can't go.
Oh, Jen and Ron
Ron
are
are
going to
going.
be.
Yes.
Yeah, next June. Depends. Depends, when we do what we're going to do, because Dakota will be graduating next year. Um, so it all depends. Maybe me and Dakota will go for a graduation trip.
Yeah, that would be nice.
It's too hot down there for her in June.
I don't want to hear how hot it is. She is the one that when it's 80 degrees outside, she still has a hoodie on.
It's really hot there.
I tried, Coda.
Oh, I know. Last year where I went down for the Special Olympics that my cousin was in, oh my goodness. I mean, there was just little puddles of Dougie everywhere. It's like,
So he comes to my house
I
in
left.
June and twiddle his thumbs.
I do not.
Well, I was surprised when I went out to D23 because I talking to Garrett. Oh, the weather will be whatever, and of course they get the hottest heat wave going through there. So I was like melting out there, walking along.
Oh, Jeanette, was he really? Yeah, my cousin was in it too, and let me tell you, it was an absolute blast. My favorite part of the Special Olympics was the award shows. Number one, they were in air conditioning. So you weren't melting outside. And number two, just seeing the faces of these kids when they got an award was it's priceless. I mean, it was so much fun, and I
And
mean, they would start.
I remember Jeanette sharing that about her cousin with the Special Olympics.
Were you down there, Jeanette, or no? Jeanette, I will be it.
Stacy said teenagers are not allowed to leave the house without hoodies on.
Oh, stop. Listen. Kaylin didn't have a hoodie on last night. Doug said number 2. I did. But any other questions for Amy? How did you get going on your trivia thing? Like, how did that all start up?
I actually enjoy trivia, and there was a couple that did Sunday night trivia, and that's how like I got to know who like I think Steve was in there, Mouse Talk, Walt and Melissa would be playing, but it was a couple that really got into it, and then they would get all their winners from each week and then do a Jeopardy style game for all the winners and stuff. And then their lives kind of changed a little bit, and they had to discontinue. But I enjoy doing trivia. I've always loved playing Trivia Pursuit or any games like that. And like and it just became a little easier for me to go and do that if I wanted to stream. Because the hardest thing is, like for a lot of us, is sitting at home trying to do a home stream unless you invite people or you talk about stuff or coming up with a topic. And I thought, hey, here's an easier way to get some people involved, and there's a good bit of people. It would be and it would be a lot harder if there was a ton of people and they're trying to keep track of the answers and everything. Yeah, I saw that. I missed him by a day when I went out to D23 there. And I looked into going
Chris wants to know what is your favorite dish that you can cook, me and Chris?
Usually pasta or some sort of pasta. But one of the dishes I also like is a Mexican chicken. You take like a chicken breast and put salsa and the cheese and grill it. Because I used to make that at the Prime Time Cafe as one of their specials.
Nice.
A Mexican chicken.
So Garrett's here.
Yes, I see that.
He's probably, let's see, it's 5:22. They're probably in their resort room taking a rest.
Resting.
Did you see any of his stream?
Yes.
Last night? Did you see the bathroom conversation?
Probably it depends on what time, because I was watching and then I faded. So,
I made the mistake in texting him, and we were having a conversation of asking him, "Well, hey Garrett, what's your favorite bathrooms at Disney?"
Okay.
And he's telling me
I missed that then.
And so now he's going around ranking them on a scale of 1 to 10. So because Steve has his favorite bathrooms down in Disney World. As
well,
do I.
Probably I don't know what he said, but maybe the Tiki Room bathrooms is probably his favorite at Disneyland, because I think they're back out of the way.
Yep. And then we got into the conversation of, wouldn't it be awesome to have a character bathroom meet and greet?
Anchors away, my boys.
I think I was passed out by then.
There, see, Steve has ranked bathrooms at every part. So, Steve, next time you're on my show, that's going to be the topic. We're going to go through and we're going to rank bathrooms.
Jeff and Angela did a stream early on about different bathrooms there in their early days. But
Stacy, you know what? I'm sorry, but you're probably right. But Garrett, they're doing a great job out there in Disneyland. I fell asleep last night. I mean, I was so tired. I think I fell asleep.
Yeah, I fell asleep when they were still in California Adventure, and then when I went to watched the replay. I saw, oh, they switched the Disneyland because I saw that they were on Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that broke down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so much for the refurb.
Well, Stacy will be in their streams because Stacy's up all night.
Yeah.
But let's see, is there any?
I want to see the Roger Rabbit ride, Garrett. So when you guys go in there, the Toontown and Roger Rabbit ride. Yeah, because that one
we
wasn't
we were
open.
all putting you all to sleep, Garrett. It's not about putting us to sleep. It's that when it's 8, 9 o'clock there, it's 11 and 12 here,
Yeah.
and some of us get up at 5, 6 in the morning to go to work.
Yeah.
That's why when you do your late night streams, like
People
me,
forget.
Amy, Jeanette, we're all waking up
Waking up.
to go to work.
See, that blew my mind the first time that he ever did that. Because I was like, they had a stream and I fell asleep and their stream ended. And then I woke up and he was still streaming. And I was like, wait a minute, I just like slept 5 hours and Garrett's still streaming.
So he said we tried streaming it once and no bueno. So that means not good.
Bad.
And then
Yeah,
Stacy,
oh,
Stacy, my spring break ended today.
ah,
So Dougie has to get up at 5 in the morning tomorrow for the joyous screaming children that I deal with.
I will say they hit it right for the Phantasmic show and then the fireworks right there. They really got a good spot. Oh, well, Michelle got the spot while Garrett and the kids were eating.
The World of Color, yeah, I went back and watched the replay, and the World of Color was really good.
Yeah.
And then Chris says that he thinks he's the only one without a channel. That's not true. Garrett doesn't have a channel. That's Michelle's channel.
Yeah, that's Michelle's channel. You can always start one, Chris, the Curtis family. There you go.
Chris, I keep asking you to come on. You and JD, you're supposed to come on my show here. So, and Mike Cabral, I talked to him today about coming on.
Yeah, that's the only thing that I'm jealous of is when all those guys, they all stay up at night and then they're like, oh, I got to go get some sleep before I have to do something. And I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back to sleep.
Yeah, really. No, I gotta go to work and get in a bus and drive screaming kids. But let's go through each park and let's start with Animal Kingdom. What is your favorite attraction and favorite restaurant?
At Animal Kingdom, my favorite attraction, Expedition Everest. I mean, I enjoy the safari, so that's a close second there, but I enjoy the Expedition Everest. But you know what? I forgot about the Flight of Passage. That's one of the top ones. But I've only gotten to ride that a couple of times because the line has always been pretty long. And in the early days when you were trying to get fast passes, it was hard to get and everything. So
now, do you have to be cautious because of your transplant?
Cherie, I'm going to message you this week and we're going to set that up, dear. You're not chopped liver. I don't like liver anyway. Liver and onions, no. What did you ask, my dear? Let her answer the restaurant question first. So what's your favorite restaurant in Animal Kingdom?
The Sotoli Canteen is one of my favorites. I've a lot of times when I'm at Animal Kingdom, I just do quick service or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not really there for I'd like to go to the Yak and Yeti. It's been a while since I've been there, but I'd like to go back and try that. But a lot of times I'm not at the Animal Kingdom most of the days.
Okay.
And everything.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom. it's not an all-day park for us.
Yeah.
You know, it's a we go in, we rope drop, and you can get everything done by 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, unless I mean, and you that means you would have to run the flight of passage right when it opens.
Yeah.
Um, I can't ride flight of passage. Too big to fit on the what do they call? What are them animals called?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're called,
I
but
have one of the toys.
but I did talk to a cast member when I was down there, and
Mhm.
they are coming up with because people with disabilities can't ride it. People that are in wheelchairs and there's no.
Yeah.
They are developing a ride vehicle right now for Flight of Passage that uh, people with disabilities will be able to ride it.
Like they did with
Um, yeah, like they do with Tron. And she said basically it'll be similar seating as no the Soarin'.
Okay.
It'll be bench seating where people can sit in it, and they might actually have a transitioning where you just put the wheelchair on it and you stay in the wheelchair. But they are developing that right now, and that was a cast member explained that to me. So whenever they get that going, that'll work. So
Um, when the Animal Kingdom first opened, I really enjoyed it, but I kind of have a hard time now because I've actually been to Zimbabwe, Africa, and been on safari and stuff.
uh,
So sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, this is, but the safari, I would say, is pretty much like almost to the T of what you would experience in Africa, except there are some different animals that they have out in the real, you know,
right.
safari area.
Okay. What was your question, dude?
Does she have to um, be cautious when she goes on rides because of her training?
Because of your condition,
Oh yeah.
do you have to watch certain rides or be
Um,
careful?
at first, I really did because they did, you really want to be careful because the kid needs more in the front of your body than where they normally are. So yeah, I kind of pick and choose some of the rides or how I am on that. So I am a little cautious, especially if the bar comes down on you a
Okay.
little tighter and stuff.
That's what I was
But
wondering.
but I I have done some of those wild coasters like the one at Kennywood and stuff. But yeah,
Like
I try to be careful.
I rode um, Haunted Mansion a couple years ago, and I was not happy at the cast member for this. How the buggy it comes up on its own, and then you
Oh
have to
yeah,
basically pull it to lock
cool.
it.
Yeah,
Well, I couldn't get it locked because I mean my belly sticks out. And
yeah,
this cast member come out and basically like rammed it, and I mean it. I had marks on my belly
yeah.
from where, and I was not happy about that. I was hurting.
Oh, I'm sure.
But,
Um, I saw Francisco ask me what my favorite ride at Disneyland. That that's a tough one because I really enjoyed Space Mountain. I really enjoyed that one, and at the at California Adventure, the Incredicoaster and the Radiator Springs were one of my favorites.
okay, the
So
DCA, yeah.
yeah,
Now, what about do you? I mean, Disneyland. I mean, it's very. I think they have more rides than our Magic Kingdom. To tell
yeah,
you the
I
truth,
think they do.
I mean, they have like the Alice in Wonderland. They have.
Yeah,
They still have the Toad.
the Mr. Toad. That was always my favorite at Disney World too, because they
Yeah, I
had
mean,
two sides on our Mr. Toad
hmm
and everything.
they have Snow White.
Yeah,
They have a lot of these little rides that you know and that's one thing I was looking at. Every time Garrett's there, I always look at the wait times,
Yeah.
and I'm like, their wait times there are not even comparable to
There.
Disney.
Yeah.
So and what it dumbfounds me because Disney World has so much room that they could add. You know, they could add rides. I mean, they have tons of property. They have
Mhm.
Disneyland is they don't have any more
Frozen at the
space.
scene. Yeah.
You
They
know,
don't
they're
have any room.
they're boxed in, and,
Yeah.
and I know they're talking about adding some different things to Magic Kingdom and Animal Kingdom, and now they're talking about adding one or two more actual theme parks down there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do. So favorite ride at Hollywood? Did you say Slinky or no? You said Tower of Terror
Tower Terror.
and restaurant.
Um, I'm gonna go with the Primetime Cafe. That was always my favorite. And,
Okay, so you
and
like
I
it?
know, yeah, that has a lot of nostalgia for me, but it was always one of my favorites, and it's fun to go to.
Okay. Epcot.
At Epcot, it's Test Track. I
Okay.
like the Test Track now. It's Guardians of the Galaxy though, but since it's
Oh
virtual,
yeah.
but since it's virtual queue, I mean, I can always get on Test Track as a single rider and stuff. And I, I will say, if I get the virtual queue, I do buy the individual Lightning Lane, but I'm solo. But I don't. I kind of like, well, $35 is a little high, and pretty soon, who knows, they're going to be higher. But I have
I
bought
can't
the individual
believe
Lightning
I
Lane.
can't believe Genie Plus went up to that.
Yeah.
I
And some
just
of
can't.
the lightning lanes were high too. The individual lightning lanes.
Yeah, and I can't believe it's still a virtual queue either.
Yeah,
I honestly thought that when Tron opened,
they
that
would
they
have
would do
gotten
away
rid of.
with the virtual queue because the
Yeah,
virtual queue for Guardians started what May of last year.
May of last year. Yeah,
I mean, the virtual queue for um, Ratatouille wasn't
and
that long,
no, it wasn't.
so I don't know.
I
I'm hoping they
enjoyed
get
the
rid of it.
Ratatouille ride, but I know like my niece was excited that it was coming to Epcot, but she had ridden it already in Paris. So when it did finally open, she's like, "Well, it's a carbon copy. That's okay. I don't need to ride it." But because to her, even though she rode it, she was excited because for families and stuff. But by the time it got to Disney World, it was already kind of old for her.
Okay. Yeah, I like Ratatouille, and people have heard me say this before. I don't like the virtual,
Yeah,
or
the
like
screen.
Flight of Passage or Soarin'.
Mhm.
I just that's something I can't really deal with. I mean, I can do it, but it's when you're falling. Even on Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, when they fall over the waterfall, I have
Waterfall.
to close my eyes
Yeah.
just as you're falling. I just don't. And then in Ratatouille, when you fall off of the roof,
Oh
I have to
yeah.
close my eyes. It's something about falling that I just don't like. Um, all right. So, what's your favorite restaurant in Epcot?
I'm gonna say Tepaneto. Tepaneto. I know it's a
Okay.
Japanese steakhouse, but that's
Yeah,
usually one of my go-tos.
they say that's the best steak on property. So, have you been to Space 220 yet?
No, I looked into it one time, but I would have sat at the bar anyway because I always try to get it with the restaurant, but and then one time I was gonna do the bar, but I had my nieces and nephews, and we just decided well we'd do something else.
Right. I think me and Steve talked about that. When I come down, that we're just going to go over and try to just get into the
Yeah,
lounge, just to go in to
yeah,
see it, have a drink, and you know, just to
yeah.
see what it The
But
big,
it's like, yeah, I'd like to
yeah,
at least go and try that sometime though.
yeah. Okay. So we're at Magic Kingdom now. Favorite ride?
Um, it's the Haunted Mansion.
The
The
Haunted
Haunted
Mansion?
Mansion. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it is. You know, the Haunted Mansion was supposed to actually be a walkthrough.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be a ride. It was supposed to be a walkthrough, but then the Imagineers were worried about people stopping
Mhm.
and taking pictures and doing
Oh
things.
yeah.
So
I would
so
love to
then
go through there when it's shut off and
yes,
explore.
so then they decided, well, you know what? Let's do a continuous ride vehicle, so then we don't have to worry about people stopping.
And that's probably
Um,
why the Disneyland one, you pretty much walk in through the portraits where Disney World starts their ride, where you're going by the portraits in the library.
yeah.
But the Disneyland one, you walk through that part,
Okay.
and then you get on the ride.
Okay.
I've I've seen the original version, but that was like in the late 1990s. But and I got to see the Nightmare Before Christmas one this past time around. So I'd like to go back when they have the normal. So it's good when I see the streamers doing the normal um, Haunted Mansion because the Hatbox Ghosts and stuff.
Thanks, Garrett.
Jennifer, I
I
try.
appreciate it. Other times Mike C is falling off the building. Garrett. Um, Restaurant in Magic Kingdom. It could be quick serve. It could be
Um, yeah, that one's kind of hard. Um, I like Tony's Town Square. I know it's a hit or miss for different people. I personally never had a bad meal there. And I know a lot of people like Liberty Tree Tavern. I
that's
enjoyed it when they had, at lunchtime, they had you could buy entrees instead of having to get the Patriot platter. And I'm not saying it's not
okay.
good, but at lunchtime they used to have like an a la carte menu, or you can get the Patriot platter. But now
Well,
it's all it's
didn't they originally move like that menu where you could get the single entrees? They put that at the Diamond Horseshoe, right?
yeah, I think
And
so.
then
Yes,
after COVID, now
it's
the
all
Diamond
just
Horseshoe just matches.
they
I think they
yeah
run them both out of the same kitchen. So
yeah that they do. And
yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed it when I went with when Carlos was there and a bunch of other people, Jeff and everyone, and it's enjoyable and stuff. But for me to do a lot of the all you care to eat, I eat a lot, but not like a ton to where I have to go all the time. But the dessert was good though,
Yeah,
and everything. So
yeah. I mean, we always try to do. I mean, that was we ate there what uh, December 30th, I think it was, and that was the only meal we ate like the whole day.
yeah, like
I
you
mean, it was
stop
like
at
I think Steve passed out somewhere afterwards, as he normally does.
yeah.
But I know Steve. One of Steve's favorite is Tony's.
Mhm.
Every time I turn around, he's texting me, "Hey, I'm at Tony's." Okay, great.
But yeah,
You know,
I mean, I
yeah,
enjoy the Liberty Tree Tavern, but I I like the turkey, and there was another type of thing in the mashed potatoes and stuff. But sometimes the texture of different meats and stuff like that, I just don't eat a lot. But we used to enjoy the Crystal Palace, like if you went to breakfast, and then because I like to get the omelets and
okay.
different things like that. So
Yeah, and that was the thing when we ate at Cape May Cafe.
mhm,
I mean, the buffet was just basic breakfast food.
yeah,
Um, and then way off to the side was the omelet station. And if you weren't weren't paying attention, you didn't know it was there.
You would miss it.
So it was like
I didn't
me.
know.
I know me and Steve both got omelets, but Carlos, when I talked to Carlos afterwards, Carlos is like, "Where was the omelet station?"
Yeah.
And I said it was way off on the one side, and but I mean the food was good. They had tater tots, and listen, as long as anybody has tater tots, I'm good to go.
I'm good to go. Yeah, really.
Um,
There's only a few restaurants left that aren't open, like at 1900 Park Fair. I wonder what they're going to do with that.
yeah, I know Trails End what they're making it a quick serve.
Yeah, more like a food court type of quick
Yeah,
serve.
I mean, in a way, I can understand their thinking on that because it is very, if you're not staying at Fort Wilderness, it is a pain in the butt to get over there.
Get over there. Yeah.
You got to park out at the front of Fort Wilderness, and then you got to get a bus to here, then you got to get a bus to there. Actually, the easiest way to get to Trails
Take
End or
the
the Hoop
boat.
to Do Review,
The boat.
park at the Magic Kingdom and go over and ride the boat over. That's
Yeah.
actually the easiest way.
Yes.
Those chairs out on the beach are comfortable. Yeah. Oh, we know that, Steve. You like those chairs.
Yeah, and like I said, a lot of cast members really like going to trails and to eat
Yeah.
and stuff. 'Cause
Well,
it was
when we were
really
kids, that's where we would stay in Fort Wilderness.
cool. Okay.
Our dad would tow our camper down, and we would camp, and we'd stay in Fort Wilderness. And I mean, we had our bikes, so
Yeah.
we would ride our bikes over to the arcade, which was over near where Hoop to Do Review was, and Trails End, and we'd go over there, and then they had the little speedboat rentals. Remember
Oh
those?
yeah, yeah. I wish they would come back because I really enjoy.
Yeah, the little
Yeah.
two-person speedboats.
Yeah,
We would do that constantly. I mean, it was a blast.
yeah,
Because I mean, and that was you didn't even have to go to a park. There was so much stuff to do in Fort Wilderness. Um, but we would go to the Hoop to Do Review every year. Now you can't.
yeah.
I mean, we were a family of five. And I mean now it's like back then it was probably what $15-$20 a person.
Yeah.
To go to the Hoop to Do Review. Steve loved the Hoop to Do Review. We had to go there just because of Steve.
Steve. Well, I used to use my the meal credit if if I was on the dining plan. But I remember early on, like in the 90s, my mom, myself, my aunt, and my sister-in-law went, and they had a card that was fun, food, and more, and everything was all one price. It wasn't like, and we had all these meals and everything, and we did the Polynesian Aloha show and the Hoop-Dee-Doo review
Yeah.
and stuff.
Jennifer, I
would
if you
still
can
go.
get a reservation on Saturday,
I would
if you
go.
can get a reservation, I would go.
Donna and Steve and them just went the other day,
Hmm.
and it was
Really?
good.
So Steve thinks the Hoop to Do Review is stupid.
It's cool.
Actually, we went because my dad loved it.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
we had to do what Dad wanted to do.
Yeah.
We went into the parks. He took us to the parks. We got to do what we wanted to do, but that was the one sacrifice we had to do. And listen, Steve, it's not like you were upset with the food or anything.
All right, I have a fun fact since we're talking about Disney.
Fun fact.
My cousin is there right now with her son's band. She said Jack Sparrow just came up behind her and grabbed her hand.
Jack Sparrow grabbed her hand. Well, at least it was her hand. He is a pirate,
She should have said, "Take me on
Every
pirates."
day that someone comes up behind you and Jack Sparrow grabs your hand.
Amy, where's your favorite place to stay when you're there?
Yeah, that's a tough one. But because I've stayed at almost all of the resorts except some of the DVCs and the Grand Floridian I haven't stayed at yet. But I really enjoy the Polynesian for the location on the monorail and stuff. But I also like the beach club because of the location, the Epcot, and the swimming pool.
Okay.
So, but the Polynesian is my first choice. If I always look at, like, I stay now as cheap as possible or at the value resorts, but I always look to maybe do a split stay if I can get the Poly, and sometimes it's hard to get it.
Do you stay in the Beatles room?
No, I did not.
No.
No.
I'm trying to find somebody that stayed in
And
the
I
Beatles
never really knew that fun fact until I started watching YouTube and stuff
Yeah.
about the Beatles, but I knew about Richard Nixon. So
I should ask if Amy plans on going to Dollywood.
Oh,
Who,
yeah.
Mike Cabral? You plan on going to Dollywood?
I haven't been to Dollywood, but I really would like to go. So I'm hoping to go. I don't know if it'll be this year, but I'm hoping to go sometime to Dollywood.
Mike Cabral asked that?
Yeah.
What does Mike Cabral know about Dollywood?
Yeah. Are you planning on going to Dollywood?
He was asking a question.
Mike, have you been to Dollywood?
Or are you going to Dollywood, Mike?
And then Francisco had asked a while ago, what is her favorite, I guess, ride at Disneyland?
We asked that. Yeah, we got that.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just making sure we got all the questions.
Okay, Dollywood is on my bucket list. I tell you, everybody that goes to Dollywood really likes it. Yeah. And listen, she's just like how Walt was. Don't be surprised if you see her walking around.
Oh yeah. I think my niece missed her by a couple days at the Dollywood.
And Cherie loves Riverside.
That is a beautiful resort and relaxing.
It is. It is. Of course, that's where Yeehaw Bob performs.
Yeah.
Have you seen Yeehaw Bob?
I have, but the last couple times I've been down, he's been on his exotic vacation, so
yeah,
I missed him the last 2 times. India when I was.
He was just in India, wasn't he?
Because I was looking at staying at Riverside because I wanted to catch his show, but then I found out he was in India, and then I ended up just staying. I ended up staying at Art of Animation in the Little Mermaid rooms because at that point a lot of the rooms were pretty well booked because of groups that were there.
I tell you what, I looked at getting one night in the Little Mermaid suite because Belinda's a big Little Mermaid, obviously. And because it was December, man, did they skyrocket the prices. It was like $500 for one night.
Oh,
and I'm
wow.
like, isn't this a value resort? You know, I could have got Riverside cheaper than Art of Animation.
The suite. Oh yeah, because I was looking at like the prices of the suites, and I'm like, if I'm going to pay $500, I'm going to go stay at one of the deluxe or a better resort for that price.
Well, that's what I said.
I
was like, holy cow, that was crazy. But night stay.
I really, when the Destino Tower opened, I actually got a really good price for one night, and I got to stay in the tower at Coronado Springs. And I was trying to get a room there this last trip because I really enjoyed staying in the tower there.
Coronado Springs is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Now, the outside, part of it, I mean, they're okay. They're regular rooms. But the tower, oh my goodness, is it beautiful?
Yeah.
It is. I saw it last summer because my aunt and uncle were staying there, and we met them and went to Rick's for dinner. let's see, did I miss something? Chris Kerr's family says that that's where they're staying at is Riverside. Well, good, Chris. They have pull-out
Oh,
beds, so I'll be
yeah.
there, buddy.
Yeah, Cherie, I saw a lot of pets at the Art of Animation. I think they can stay in one of the suite sections too, but I'm not sure which suite because I did see a lot of pets walking around in certain areas
Well, and
of Art of Animation.
that might have been why the price was so high, Cherie, is because I did look for a pet-friendly room because we did have our little baby with us. So that might have been why it was so much, but still, Riverside is also pet friendly too.
Yeah,
And they were still cheaper with a pet room than Art of Animation.
yeah,
So I was shocked at that. But we just ended up, Steve, Savannah, Belinda, and Dakota stayed on the 30th. They stayed at Polynesian. I went back to Steve's house and stayed with the dog,
yeah. I remember you saying
because
that.
she's my little baby. And
Yeah,
then the second night on the New Year's Eve, they all stayed at the Riviera, and I went back and stayed with the pup. Um, so, they and Belinda never stayed on property, so it was nice to let her go and do that, and it was nice for Steve to do that for us. Um, I see something from Ron Caruso.
crab legs
I
and
had to
balloons.
concentrate on my 1 pound of crab legs and buffalo wings, but now I'm back. Oh, Ron. One day your
Yeah, it's
stomach
very
is just
hard,
fixed.
resort wise, where to
Yeah.
stay for a resort because I always look like where am I going to spend the most time? What's the transportation like? Um, I ha- it, it's very for me the Caribbean beach resort is very sentimental because that's where my young nephews and niece we always stayed there and everything.
Okay.
So and it was before the Riviera, of course, and yeah, it was a huge resort, but there was a lot of good memories staying there with them. So
No.
there's a lot of nostalgia.
Right. Now, me and Steve are going to stay at Old Key West in June for
Oh,
a week. Um,
oh, that'll be nice.
and we picked that one because it's nice and quiet. Old Key West, Riverside. Those are kind of the quiet
Really
resorts
sad. Yeah,
where you can just relax and um, but I mean, if I said if I was going there for a trip and to pick one resort, for the monorail resorts, I would pick Polynesian.
yeah,
you know and because then you have access to Magic Kingdom and Epcot.
yeah,
And then Beach Club, like you said, perfect location. You can go to Hollywood Studios, you go to Epcot.
Epcot.
They need to get some kind of transportation connected to Animal Kingdom, whether
Yeah,
it be the Skyliner. Um, I know there was talk a while back about extending the monorail to Animal Kingdom. Um, Whatever they do, they got to do something because Animal Kingdom is so, you know, and that's part of the reason why. I mean, we only went a half a day to Animal Kingdom this year. Next year, I don't think we even have it on our schedule.
when I
I
went
mean, it's
down, I really haven't taken long trips lately. The longest one was when I went down for the actual 50th birthday of the Magic Kingdom, and of course, they had like that the show that ended up flopping that people are like, oh, this is kind of corny. I actually enjoyed it a little bit. I forget what the Kite Tales, and I was at the Animal Kingdom like in the morning, and then I asked my niece if she wanted to meet me at the Animal Kingdom, or I had reservations for Steakhouse 71 for lunch, and she chose. I said, if you want to go to the Animal Kingdom, or even after lunch, um, so she met me at the Steakhouse 71, and I said to her, "You want to come back to the Animal Kingdom with me, or are you gonna just go head home or whatever. And she decided not to go to the park. It was just easier doing the lunch. But I went back to the Animal Kingdom and kind of enjoyed that evening a little bit.
The only problem I have about Animal Kingdom is their pathways in Animal Kingdom are
dark.
way too narrow.
Yeah, they're narrow, and then at night, well, if you're there
Yeah.
when the lights start going down,
And,
it's dark.
and it is the hottest park because all the trees and everything, not a lot of air moves through there.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
and they don't do kitetails anymore, so it's like that whole stadium is not even
it's
being
kind of
used.
wasted space now. Yeah,
Yeah, so they need to do something with that.
Mike said that Animal Kingdom is an all-day park. You're just doing it wrong. He said that about them.
Okay. Hey, that's Steve. Steve's World. That's his favorite park. You know, and it is. I mean, a lot of people like it. Um, I'm on the same wavelength as Amy. You know, she's seen the safari in Africa, so it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the safari is good, but it's such a hit or miss.
Yeah. It depends on what kind of driver you get.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
and it depends
yeah.
on the driver.
Oh yeah. There was something about the Animal Kingdom. I know, like when we didn't have hopper passes, and of course, it always closed early too. Now it's open a little bit, but I think they close. I don't know what time they close the safari, but once the safari is closed, then I know there's like flight of passage and that. But if it's busy,
Yeah.
then it's hard to
I
do
think it
anything.
closes now at 7.
Yeah.
So I think it's later now. I know when we were there in December, it was like 4:30.
Yeah, if you weren't in line and then it was closed, and then you're like, well, what do I do now? Because other
Right.
things started closing. And the Rivers of Light, the only time we tried to do it twice, but big giant rainstorms came in whenever we were going to see it, and they ended up canceling the show. So I never really got to catch it per se, the Rivers of
Yeah.
Light. So
We always
yeah,
try to
so do I, Cherie. And sometimes I'll get back on if the line isn't very long. Because I know Jeff used to do that. Like they go to it first thing, and then he used to get back in line if it wasn't too crowded. And you'd actually see something a lot different. The animals shift around and everything.
Yeah. Good night, Regina.
I hate
Good night, Regina.
Ever anyone remember that one? No, I don't, Stacy.
Yeah, I'm trying. I remember watching something with his. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I remember it being.
I remember the stream where Jeff almost fell out of the vehicle.
Oh wow!
The driver hit the bump so hard. I mean, you actually saw Jeff come off the seat.
Stacy, was that the one where they just drove straight through on the safari, or was it like something a lot better where they stopped at different places? I can't remember what the scenario for Steve was.
Roadway.
I don't know. But, well, I think we're going to start wrapping it up here. I want to appreciate you coming on, Amy. It was great to talk to you, spending time with you. We're going to have to get together soon, and definitely before I head back down in June. We'll meet for breakfast or something.
I know for me, yeah. I know for me, like when you talk about like visiting, a lot of times I concentrate more in the parks, and I know since Disney Springs has changed, I don't really put a lot of time into Disney Springs as much as I used to when Pleasure Island was there and stuff. And this past trip, I did get to spend a lot. I went with Jeff and Angela and Kenzie and Matt and Zach and Abby. we were at Disney Springs in the evening this last trip there. That was like the first time I hung out there in a long time there
Yeah.
because I
I
don't.
mean, I'm not a fan of Disney Springs only on the
Yeah,
basis of I'm not a shopper.
yeah.
You
Usually I
know.
run to the World of Disney, and then there's like one or two shops. But I did buy a pair of shoes from Jeff's recommendation. So
Yeah. The only time I went to Disney Springs was for the M80s last June.
yeah,
You know, and we went there for that, and then we went over um, for an evening. I think we were there for 45 minutes.
yeah,
Belinda wanted to look at World of Disney, so me and Steve sat outside. Um, and she went in, come out, and we were going to get dinner, but it was so packed. It
yeah.
was just, it was ridiculous. So we said, you know what, let's just go somewhere
You
else
couldn't
to eat.
even walk in World of Disney.
Yeah, world, it was, you couldn't even walk through it. It was so crazy. But
Yeah. And I'll run to Gideon's like first thing in the morning to take home Gideon's cookies. They do make it home. So
did I?
if you take care of them,
I may try, since we're staying at Old Key West,
yeah,
I may get up one morning, ride the boat over, just to see if I can get some for Belinda to bring home.
yeah,
You know, but I think Ron, it was funny when we were talking to Ron and Jennifer about it a couple weeks ago. Ron said about waiting for 4.5 hours. uh,
yeah. Early on, I remember putting my name in before we went to the boathouse for our lunch. I met my niece and we went and put our name in and we had our lunch. And by the time we were done at the boathouse, we went over to Gideon's to get our cookies to take home.
yep. Good night, Cherie.
But
Well, Amy, once again, thank you for coming on.
yes, thank you for
Um,
inviting me.
Absolutely. Everybody check out Amy AJC Magic TV. Great trivia on Wednesday nights. We all have a blast, and who knows who will win if Donna's not there.
Yeah,
Yeah. If Donna or Lisa from Joey's World ain't there, it's a toss up then.
yeah.
Heck, I even won the 1 week.
Because I've done late night trivia too. Yeah,
But usually if Donna shows
right.
up, then I'm like, you know, Donna's so
Poor
fast.
Donna gets picked on.
She's awesome. We got to meet
Oh
her
yeah,
in
yeah.
December. She's an amazing
Oh
lady.
yes.
But I want to thank you and take care of yourself.
Thank you. Yes,
And
you
I'm
too.
not far away. If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to call me.
Okay. Yeah,
All right,
and we'll
dear?
get together for lunch or breakfast or whatever. So
Yes.
that'll be
Sounds
good.
great. Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye. That was Amy AJC Magic TV. She's fantastic. Can't say, you know, there's just so many amazing people I've met in this community. From Stacy and Tommy and the kids, Jennifer and Ron, Jeff, Carlos. Talked to Mike Cabral today on the phone. I mean, it's just such a great community, and it's positive, and that's what I like about it. You know, nobody tries to bring anybody down. Um, you know, you're gonna have people like that in the parks that are miserable and everything. You know, you just ignore it. You know, and that's what's great about this community is everybody's positive. We have fun. You know, we have a good time. Um, so I want to thank everybody for coming in. Make sure you hit that like button. Mom, I love you. Have a great night. Everybody else, Mary Carol, thanks for being here. Kathy, Stacy. Make sure you check out Living the Magic on Saturday. They are doing the Over the Edge um, fundraiser where Tommy's going to shove Stacy off of a building. Check out Jennifer Caruso will be live Friday evening from Epcot, and I believe Saturday also. So make sure What?
Sunday Magic Kingdom.
In Sunday Magic Kingdom. Thank you, producer Belinda. Yelling from the bedroom. So check out Jennifer Caruso. She'll be streaming, and Ron will be there too. So, Living the Magic, they're going live. Check out This Our Dream. They'll be live tomorrow night. He's doing something with Peeps, I saw. So I don't know what I hope he doesn't do anything weird with Peeps. Then Saturday, Sunday, they'll be streaming from somewhere in the parks. Carlos will be streaming this weekend from some kind of war memorial. Thank you, Stacy. Trying to think who else. Garrett and Michelle, Monarch Moments. They're live tonight. And then 10:30. Then tomorrow they'll be live at 2 p.m. for like a morning session, and then tomorrow night again for at Disneyland. So make sure you check out Monarch Moments. I know me and Mike Cabral probably will not. Me and Mike Cabral got to get up super early, so we'll watch the replay. Dakota, good night. Stacy, Peep Show with Jeff. Yeah, that when I first saw that, it said Peep Show. I was like, oh boy, this could go so many different ways, Jeffrey. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. Take care and enjoy the rest of your week. We're halfway through, and we'll see you in the chats this weekend.